friends, Leslie from A Friend to Knit With. Welcome to episode 32 of A Friend to Knit With podcast. If you have stumbled upon this channel, it is a channel mostly about knitting. So if you love to knit as much as I love to knit, then you're in the right place. And if you're returning, I so appreciate you coming back. I know there are so many great podcasts out there, and I just appreciate you visiting this little part of my world. Today is November 18th. It's Friday, less than a week till Thanksgiving. I was busy this morning making my list and looking up some recipes. So I still have a few things to buy at the grocery store, but hopefully it won't be too busy this weekend. I'm gonna have to get up early and go early. It is snowing, sorry, I'm very distracted by the snow. It is coming down. It is really cold here. It's my time of year and your time of year that we can wear all those knits that we have anxiously been waiting for the weather to wear them. I was thinking about doing a little bit of a different type of format for the podcast, but I think I'm gonna save that. Well, I know I have to save it because I'm not finished, but last episode I asked you guys what you were working on because I would love to see, and I know others would be inspired to see what you guys are working on too. So I think next episode I'm going to show some of the things that you guys are working on. And I appreciate all the comments and all your projects. If I haven't commented back, I just have been going over to Ravelry to look up your project, and then I fall down the rabbit hole, and yeah, you know how it goes. So sooner or later, I will compose the all of your projects, and I can show them on the next episode. But this episode is going to be pretty much the same format: off the needles, on the needles, acquisitions, and stick around because I do have something I want to gift you guys. And I have one more winner for the Summer of Stripes knit along that Gina and I hosted this summer. Gina and I from Skein Cocaine. And we just had I had another gift to give away. Our friends at Sticks in Bozeman, Montana are gifting a $50 gift certificate to someone for their yarn store, which is amazing. So it's in Bozeman, Montana. That's where my son lives. They have just a gorgeous selection of yarn, and on their website as well. But I could have spent all day in their yarn shop. So I can't wait to go visit Charlie again so that I can go back to Sticks. Okay, I'm going to show you what's off the needles. I don't have much, but I do have the Ranunculus, and I was happy to hear that some of you have not knit the Ranunculus. So I was not alone. But I have added a Ranunculus to the world. There are over 15,000 of these sweaters out there. That's what Ravelry said. And you know how many people just don't even use Ravelry or put them on, a site anywhere. So there are a lot of Ranunculuses in the world. This is a very well-written, size inclusive, just everything inclusive, yarn inclusive, needle inclusive. You can just do whatever you want. It seems to work. So I adore it. It is the Ranunculus. So this summer I was watching Linda for the Fun of Knit, and she made a white linen Ranunculus, and I just have always wanted a white sweater. So it's like, I'm making a white sweater. And I am an affiliate of the KNITCRATE subscription box, and they sent me 2 skeins of a white yarn. This is Vidalana Ascendance, and it is in the color White Limestone. So I knew I wanted to use this for something, and when I saw her sweater, I ordered another skein immediately. And so I used just like 2 and I'd say 2/3 of this, probably around 900 yards of the yarn. Love the yarn. It's 100% Peruvian wool. I followed the pattern to a T, and I think what's so funny is everyone's sweater looks a little different. mine should have been a little bigger. I was searching for my US 10 needles, thinking it was in my Ranunculus bag, because that's what I was going to use. That's what the pattern said to use. And the 9 needles were in there. So I used a size US 9. I forgot to change. So this is on a US 9. I'll show you. It could have been a little bit bigger, but I certainly don't mind the fit at all. I would have liked it just a little bigger. I blocked it, but I didn't tug it too much. Because then I was like, well, maybe when I tried it on, I was like, oh, it kind of, before I blocked it, it kind of fit okay. So I could still do the little tuck, and yeah. The only thing I would have done different on this sweater is picked up more stitches under the arm, because it just really fits my arm, and I would have liked it to be a little bit bigger. And there aren't any decreases in the sleeve, so I definitely would incorporate some decreases if and when I make this again, because I'm sure I will. I love the simplicity of the design. I love a solid color sweater, and I love a little detail in the yoke. So this kind of fits the bill. Kind of like the Love Notes. A lot of people said they made the Love Note sweater, which I also have not made that. So I think I'll look into that at some point, but I'll probably do another Ranunculus before that, because I know that I love it. So yes, if you haven't made one, I highly do recommend it. And if you had to listen to me talk about one and you've already made 10, sorry. I understand why you have. So anyhow, the Ranunculus is going to be worn. It's going to be worn while I eat. I don't mind wearing the white. I didn't mind working on it. I know a lot of knitters don't want to knit with it, you know, because their hands, they don't want to get anything on it, and they don't want to wear them, or they're afraid to wear them. But I just figure that I'll send it to Gina from Skein Cocaine, and she can dye it if I really mess it up, if I spill some red wine on it or something. I'll just have to drink bubbly when I'm wearing the white sweater, the white Ranunculus. So yes, I'm gonna wear it to eat and drink, and I'm just not gonna cook or clean in it. But other than that, I'm just gonna treat it like any other beloved sweater. So this is off the needles. I'm also into my gift knitting. Have you guys started your gift knitting? What are you making? I mentioned this on the last podcast. This is the Bandana Cowl from Purl Soho, and they're hosting a cowl. So that's a Bandana cowl. And it is such a great knit. I cannot recommend it enough. It is so fast. It uses 1 skein of yarn. I have their plenty. I bought some more of it because I absolutely loved it. But it is a free pattern on Purl Soho. You can really do anything to it. Mine are just solid. But you, of course, can stripe it. There's a cute monogram on one, which that's under there. But you, no, it must be on their website. But it just uses, you know, US size 10 needles, so something a little bulky. And the plenty, I didn't have anything. I literally had like a piece of yarn this long left for both of these. And I love not having yarn left. I love not feeling guilty about wanting to throw it away when I should save it. So I usually save everything, and I try to make a pom-pom or something. But yeah, I love that I didn't feel guilty. There's just nothing left. You could have, there's a little to make like a gift tag or something if you wanted to, but I even threw that away. So this is the Bandana Cowl. Highly, highly recommend the pattern. This is in the night blue, and this is in the reed gray. And I have one on the needles in River Rock, which is gray. This is more of a taupe. But this is River Rock. It's so squishy and yummy. I actually was showing my husband, and you know, I just don't knit that often for him. Like never. I made him a cowl like years ago, and I made him a pair of fingerless gloves. Other than that, no, because he kind of complains about the yarn. So it's like, oh, this is a little scratchy, but it really isn't. So last year I tried to make him a pair of socks, never even finished those. So I decided I wanted to make him a Christmas present, and when he oohed over this pattern, he thought, oh, I would like to wear something like that. So I ordered the Jade Sapphire yarn from Purl Soho, because another person had made that and commented. Thanks for mentioning that, because I ordered it. And if you're going to order, I think it's called Jade Sapphire. I will have everything linked below, but I ordered it in the 6-ply. I didn't even see the 8-ply. Make sure you order the 8-ply, because the pattern calls for the 8-ply, not the 6-ply. So anyhow, I don't have it here because I sent the 6-ply back, and I am awaiting the 8-ply. I just ordered black cashmere for him, and he'll have that for Christmas. He's going to love it. Finally, he'll have something knit for me. All right, the other thing I wanted to show you, if you don't have chunky yarn in your stash and you don't want to buy anything and you're into using your stash right now, then maybe you have some worsted weight yarn. And this pattern by our friend Cheryl Mendez is called It's DeVIne. I think that's very clever, because that's like a vine up the front out of lace work. And this is using worsted weight US 6 needle. So I love this pattern. I see one of these in my future. I think that, you know, if you don't like the chunky look, that might be the look for you instead. So yeah, because cows are popping up all over the place, as well as my other finished knit. I made another Sophie scarf, which this is on every, is this the most popular pattern right now? I'm not sure, but it's great because it's another stash buster. I have found some other patterns just like this. This is garter, and I held together camel and the camel yarn that I'm making a hat out of, and a mohair. But I have found I can wear mohair sweaters, but I just can't tie mohair around my neck. It feels like little prickles going into my neck. So this will be a gift for someone as well. But there are some other great patterns out there, some other great scarves, like sort of like this. Christie Archer Designs has one that's called Simply Irresistible. Ascot, it's great. Instead of a garter stitch, it has just knit stitches. And so if you don't like garter, there are a lot of people that just have mentioned they just don't like garter. So the garter is the knit instead. And then my friend Katrine has one called Ease Peasy, and that's also like a long scarf, and that looks great as well. So, you know, you can look at all of those if you're interested in making and busting your stash a little bit and making a sort of just a long skinny Ascot-y scarf. So yeah, I just wanted to share those things with you. I only have a few other things on the needles, and I am really trying to, I'm looking at my basket that usually holds my best friend butterfly blanket, and it's not here. I was working on it this morning while I was doing my Thanksgiving list, so I must have left it on the dining room table. But that is on my needles, and I am bound and determined to finish that, the best friend butterfly blanket. I am trying to get 2 made, one out of sage green and one out of this cream color. It takes 2 skeins of Big Twist, and yes, I'm not allowing myself to cast on for another sweater. And sweaters are really my jam. They're my thing. I'd rather work on a sweater than anything. But I'm gonna try to finish those, or at least the green one, before I cast on for a sweater. But I left that. I don't have that here to show you because I film in the space above our garage, and I'm probably just not gonna walk over there. and you know what it looks like because I've showed it to you a lot. So I'm going to finish the Best Friend Butterfly Blanket, and I'm going to finish some other gift knits. And I have this, I wanted a camel sweater. Yeah, I do want to knit a camel sweater, but I haven't found the yarn. I want it to be like a worsted weight camel. So this is a fingering weight camel. I frogged a sweater, I think it's been like 2 years now, and have some yarn left over. I just keep using it for little things. And I decided to make a Streetstyler hat. I wanted a fine knit gauge hat, and this seemed to fit the bill, but it is just very slow going. You know, I think I have to knit 1 by 1 rib for 9 inches. And on a US 3 needle, it's a little slow going, but that'll be okay. And then you guys, I know if you've downloaded the Beatrice Mitts in the past, I showed these in the last episode. I showed these all the time, but I finished the pair I was working on the last episode. I just have thumbs to put in. Those are just a piece of waste yarn. I'll take that out, make a thumb. And I am filming a class making these. So if you have downloaded the pattern and you are, you know, just a little intimidated on how to get the stripes to line up, because I hear that from a lot of people, then I'll let you know when the class comes out. But I have another pair of these on the needle. And yeah, these are what I'm working on for that class. This, I don't know when the class is going to, I have to have it done by December 5th. So sometime in December. So I will definitely let you know. So you can, if you're interested, make a pair of those Beatrice Mitts. Follow along as I knit them. Yes, so that's all I have on my needles. Somebody was asking me, not somebody, my friend Rosemary, what my favorite hat patterns were. And these are my favorite gift giving hats, mostly because they're pretty fast and I think everyone seems to like them. But it's the double brimmed beanie by DeBrossE. I absolutely think this is just like a perfect hat. So I made myself a beanie sized one like this. So it's literally, I just stopped knitting a little sooner. You don't even do decreases. You knit and you just run the yarn through at the very top. And this is how the hat's supposed to look, which I think is so cute too. And this is removable. You actually don't have to have a pom-pom. But if you do put a pom-pom on, I recommend using the snaps one. You can find them really anywhere. But it makes such an easy gift for the recipient, easy to take care of and wash it. And the yarn I use and the pattern calls for is Lion Brand Woolies, thick and quick. So I'm going to make another black one. And I thought this was just a fun, really bright color for a friend of mine that wears colors like this. So yes, it's the Woolies, thick and quick. I think they rebranded. So that is a great hat. Now this summer I made On the Street Train hat, and this style I've seen in so much. So this is also a free pattern by Melissa of the Oldest Foster Co. And Lisa's. It's Lisa's pattern. And it is super easy, super quick. So if you're looking for some quick hats, of course, these are really fast too. I am definitely going to make myself one of these in the reed gray. Did I mention that already? Because it's on my brain. So that's pretty much all I have. Look at me picking up my knitting. I do it all the time. Do you? I have one acquisition. I'm going to show you my knit crate. So once a month, this arrives in my box, and it is such a happy color. It's like a Tiffany box coming in the mail. And this was this month's sock crate. love, love, love this yarn. It has a little bit of camel in it. And I'm actually going to make myself a pair of socks out of this during the beginning of the new year. I just thought that would be a bright sort of pop, or maybe even in February. But definitely in the new year, I'm going to make myself a pair of socks. It's very soft. It has nylon, wool, and cashmere. But I do have a link that if you've never had a knit crate, you can get 20% off, and I will put that below. Let me take a drink of water and think what else I have to ask. All right, I think that's all I wanted to mention. That was, you know, sort of on my needles, off my needles. I wanted to gift you guys something because I am just extremely grateful for this community and for us that are like-minded in our love of this amazing craft. I don't honestly know what I would do without it. So this is a pattern called Twig, and recently I started wearing it all the time again and love it. I think it is just super easy to wear and extremely easy to make. So if you're interested, I am going to, for like 2 or 3 weeks from the time of this, from November, I probably won't upload this till tomorrow. So from like November 19th until December 8th or so, if you're watching this, you can download this using the code GRATEFUL. So I'll put that there and in the description box. But it is just a popover. It's super easy, I'm going to show you what it looks like on. Very easy to knit, extremely easy to wear. Okay, this is it. I have it showing in the, there are 3 different ways to wear it, and this has been my favorites as of late. And I just put the seam from the inside, so the purl stitches are showing, and just sort of put it down the front. Can you envision it with like a blouse out of it or something? Now, if you make this, just make sure you choose like a drapey yarn, because you definitely need that drape, you know, when you're wearing it. You don't want it to be too stiff, you know. And if you want it longer, you can certainly make it longer than the pattern. You can also wear it asymmetrical. Hold on. So like that, but it's just adds enough warmth over a sweater, over a t-shirt in the evenings, chilly evenings. It would be so gorgeous out of cashmere. And then you can also keep it, you know, the same way I showed you, but with the right side. So it's shorter across the front. And yeah, can you imagine like V-neck? I love how it kind of has this little drape here, but it doesn't take very much yarn, although I can't really remember. I think it does. It takes probably 900 yards of yarn. And it is just a long rectangle. I have worn this. It has been worn to death. I de-pill it, but it needs to be de-pilled again. Yeah, just because I wear it so much. But if you are interested, download it. And, you know, if you're not interested right now, maybe you will be. So make sure you grab the pattern. Use the code GRATEFUL and pick some sort of drapey yarn. Maybe you have something in your stash, but it is just such an easy knit, you know, requires absolutely zero brain power. At the very end, you seam one side and then you crochet this. And I do not know how to crochet, but I could do a single crochet. And I am confident that you can too, because it is, if I can do it, because I've tried to learn how to crochet. I just can't. I guess I mean, I could if I really wanted to, but you know, I just am not really that interested in learning. But just some finishing touches, just because I love my knitting so much. And yeah, I'm in love with my knitting. So, okay, I'm going to also, you know, I mean, choose the person. Lost some words right there. I have all of the names in here in the basket. So if you had a knit after the last giveaway, I added your name to the basket. All right. I know I made a lot of noise last time, so I'm just gonna, and we are looking at, can't read my own writing. TAMERA, T. Gonzalez on Ravelry. TAMERA, you have won $50 from Sticks, that wonderful yarn shop in Bozeman. I absolutely love. That is also where I bought this amazing bag. So they have a great selection. Maybe you could get a bag. And yes, congratulations. I'm so happy you won. All right, guys, download your pattern and have fun knitting and have a wonderful Thanksgiving if you celebrate. And if you're not doing anything on Thanksgiving, thank goodness you have your yarn, right? Just knit away. And I hope everyone is working on something that they absolutely love. I am so happy the sun finally came out. And until next time, thanks for being a friend to knit with. Take care. Bye.